Everyone, are we all good? Welcome to the last week of January. January's just flown for me. January's just disappeared. It's just gone. It's just like I can't. It's February this time next week. It'll be the 2nd of Feb. January is done and dusted. Last week of January. It is Monday, the 26th of January. And yes, good morning all. Hope you've all had a great weekend. Let me know what you've been up to. Has it been a good weight loss weekend? Did you manage to, I always say this is 7 days in a week, not 5. Did you manage to finish the week on a high, track those calories, stay online with everything? It's very easy. A lot of weight loss journeys are made and broken at the weekend. So how was your focus this weekend and everything? Stay in check. I hope it did. If you didn't, don't beat yourself up about it. I actually had a client this morning, actually messaged me yesterday, and they're not had the best of weeks or the best of weeks. The way they worded their message was that, first of all, I'm not sure that they've had a bit of a higher calorie weekend, but the way they worded it was they put, I probably haven't gone over my calories or not by much. So by saying probably, I'm like, well, you've not tracked. So that's first thing we need to change. Is irrelevant. If it's going in here, it's going in your system. You're having those calories. So you might as well track them. You might as well be responsible to them. You might as well own up to yourself, basically. And that's why we don't track generally. We don't want to kind of see the damage we think we're doing. And that's just not the way to look at it. You should be accountable, because 9 times out of 10, if you track, you'll realize you've been nowhere near as bad as you think you have in your mindset. But the other thing she asked me was, should I rein it in this week because of it? I was like, no, right? And just think about this logically. So you get given a set of calories for the week, right? And for whatever reason, you go over those calories. Now, that doesn't mean you've not had success. It doesn't mean you've not made progress, because the calories you should be sticking to should be a calorie deficit. And there's and the deficit is the difference between your maintenance calories and what you've eaten. And if, certainly for my clients, I educate them about, how, you've got to look at the calories that I've set you as an ideal deficit. If you go 500 over, you're still in a calorie deficit. If you go 1,000 over, you're still in a calorie deficit. The majority of my clients are in a 3,500 calorie deficit a week. So if they end up going 1,500 calories over their deficit, they're still in a 2,000 calorie deficit. That still will equate to over half a pound of body fat gone, right? So this is why it's so important to track. It answers so many questions. But if you do go over your calories one week, why is it so important not to then go, right, well, I've gone 500 over this week, so I'll alter my calories by 100 a day next week? It's the binge and restrict cycle we've been in for years and years and years when dieting, right? So overeating maybe, and you're not even overeating, but in your mindset, I've overeaten one week, so I'll restrict myself the following week. So in your mindset, I've binged one week, overeaten one week, I'll restrict. Right. But then from the over restriction, because you've been really tight on calories, that over restriction will then lead probably to overeating the following week. So then you're just binging, restricting, or overeating, restricting, restricting. We've got to get out of that cycle. A week is a week. Doesn't matter what happened last week. It's done. Can't change the past. You can't change the past by trying to alter the future. Right. Now, you can improve your future. You can do better going forwards. But if you're meant to eat 14,000 calories last week and you ate 15,000, if you then eat 13,000 this week, you've still eaten 14,000 last week. You've not changed that. You've not compensated anything, right? You're still eating it, right? All you've done is over-restrict yourself this week, and that'll come back and bite you in the bum at some point. Does that kind of make sense? So never, ever, ever Monday to Sunday, whatever happened last week, doesn't matter. You just draw a line Monday and crack on again. And this is why it's always a new weight loss week, right? If you had a great week last week, take motivation from that. Take confidence from it. Why did you have such a good week last week? What worked for you? Did you do anything different? If you did and it worked for you, do it this week, right? If last week things didn't go quite to plan, why didn't things go quite to plan? Was it just circumstance? Just everything just got on top of me. They say it happens. Don't beat yourself up about it. Or was it the fact that, to be honest with you, I had a rubbish week last week because I can't be arsed. Just couldn't be bothered. Don't know why. Just couldn't be bothered. Did track, ate what I wanted, had too many takes. Be honest with yourself. Be accountable to it, right? And then say, right, well, what was the reason why I couldn't be bothered? Is it just the fact that, and if it is just a case of, then put that to right this week. Your own motivation can drag you through this. Your own determination can drag you through this. All right. Yasmin, good morning on YouTube. I'm going to do top 5 on TikTok. Sebastian, the best community ever. No judging is so helpful. If you have joined, you have to. If you haven't joined, you have to be nuts. Cheers, Sebastian. Thank you very much. Yeah, Sebastian's new to the community. And if you do want to come and join my community, TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, get on my link tree. There's a little shop. You can join my one-to-one plan. There's still deals on my one-to-one plan for another week and a half. They're ending on the 3rd. So you still get half price sign up to my one-to-one plan. So you can actually have one-to-one coaching with me. We'll get you going on your journey. Or you can just join my community. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime. For your 5, you'll get a full calorie breakdown from me. You'll get a month's access to the community. It's well worth it. Give it a go. Dabble. Dip your toes in. Yeah? Right, let's do top 5 on TikTok this morning. Lou's in at number 1, Callum's in at number 2, Donna's in at number 3, Kelly's in at number 4, and Sheila is in at number 5. You're my top 5 this morning. Thank you very much, guys. New weight last week, jumping straight on, coming and saying hello. David's in, morning, Neil. Lisa, morning. Steph GC, Tony G, morning. Maddie, good morning. Faye, good morning. Nelly New, good morning. Lita's in, good morning. Maury, Mama Bear, Sophie, Mr. John Jackson's in, good morning, guys. Lynn, hello. David, January's been so slow. January's dragged. Probably because Newcastle are doing rubbish. That's probably why. Mine might have fallen back because Man United are doing amazing. I don't know. It could be football related. Who knows? Hopefully, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, Dave. Honestly, there's light at the end of the tunnel, David. There really is. Jackie, good morning. I didn't try this weekend as we were away, but I did try and do healthier choices. If you're going away, right, that is a reasonable excuse not to track. I won't track. I wouldn't. I don't track when I'm away. It's a little holiday. And I did this last year, including Christmas. So all the way up to the 31st of December, 2025. I didn't track for 50 days last year, right? 50 days. What that means is I tracked for 87% of the year. 87% of last year, I tracked. I was as accountable as I could be. And the result of that is I lost 3 stone in weight, right? You don't need to be perfect. And there are certain times when you don't need to track. Just, you've got a weekend away, go and have your weekend away, right? But get back to it Monday. That's the important thing. Yeah, get back to it Monday. Yeah, draw your line. Last week was horrendous for Sheila. Why? And again, you've got to go through it and say why. And if it is just a mindset thing, is it, if that's the reason, then there's always an answer. And you can only fix a problem if you've got an answer. Sometimes it is just circumstance, I did Thai red curry on Saturday. It was amazing going to do the peri peri chicken one tonight. There's another rant video coming in this week. Right, there's another rant video going, and it's not a rant as in a frustration rant about misinformation, this, that, and the other. It's going to be a little bit more of a tongue-in-cheek one. But I obviously put a lot of recipe ideas on, and I know that like those ideas and the whole point of the recipe ideas that I put on is, simple, easy. So it's a bit of a can't cook, won't cook. You can cook. Follow my recipes, right? Obviously, fairly calorie control, because that's how we lose body fat. High protein is how we help to control appetite. High fiber is another reason why we help to control appetite. And volume is another thing that helps control appetite because it fills us up. All right. So this is the whole basis around my recipes. Now, obviously, my content goes out to other people that don't just follow me. It goes out to the wider community, right? As it were, on Facebook. And I fully appreciate not everyone gets the gist of what my page is, right? But it is amazing. I put these recipes up and you get so many people. What you should have done. No, what I should have done was what I've done, right? It's absolutely fine coming on and going, do you know what? Maybe this would take it up a notch. Or I'd probably add this as well. So like I've done that Thai green curry or the Thai red curry, whatever, different versions of a Thai curry. 4 ingredients. All right. Don't end on go, yeah, there's 25 ingredients in the jar. We don't care. Right? Thai green curry paste or red curry paste, chicken, green beans, and coconut milk. Why I use green beans is because every Thai curry I've ever had always seems to have green beans in it. It might have other veggies as well. And you get peanut butter. I'd also add broccoli and baby sweet corn. Great. Bulk it out with veggies. Great idea. Great tip. Yeah. I try and keep things simple. I try and keep things cost effective because I know what'll happen is if I put 35 different veggies in it, we'll go, oh, it's all right if you can afford 35. No, one veg, right? One veg. Yeah, you can also put frozen green beans in if you want to. It doesn't have to be if you want to save some money. One veg, chicken breast. Yes, I know it's not the cheapest, but it's the leanest with the most protein calories. Sauce, coconut milk. I do a lot of my recipes from Aldi, which if you can't afford to shop at Aldi, then, you know, I'm not saying it's actually the cheapest supermarket. It's been the cheapest supermarket 6 years in a row. It isn't as cheap as it used to be, but it is still cheaper than a mainstream supermarket, right? You know, but it's the ones that go, what you should have done, right? And with that Thai green curry, so many people, garbage. That's not a Thai green curry. What you should have done was add this, and this. And I'm kind of like, look, you're missing the gist of the page. Now, I know the page isn't called Quick Easy Recipes, right? It's called The Real Lost Boss, right? But you know, if it's like, well, why is it called The Real Lost Boss? Oh, this guy's a weight loss coach. Oh, this guy's lost quite a lot of weight. It's all pinned at the top. You can have a quick scan through. So you should maybe get the gist of what the page is about. And you know, a lot of people use the excuse when it comes to cooking, haven't got time. Haven't got this, haven't got that, don't know what to eat. So that's kind of what I'm trying to tick the boxes for, keeping things really simple, really basic. But yeah, like what you should have done was add fish sauce, Thai basil leaves, blah, 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 blah. No, if this was how to make authentic Thai green curry, yes, I should have added all those things. This is quick, easy, calorie controlled, high protein recipes for weight loss. That's not the sole gist of my page, but do you know what I mean? But yeah, it just makes me laugh. Anyway, I'm going to do there'll be another little ranty video this week incoming. Anyway, let's have a quick look through. Jasmine went over by 300 yesterday. Need to plan my weekdays this week. And again, if you went 300 over by yesterday, do you mean you went 300 over the week, Yasmin? Because remember, like I give all my clients a calorie structure, and it's a really powerful tool. It really, really is. But it's not set in stone. So I might give my clients 1,700 calories Monday to Friday, and then they might get 2,500 Saturday, 2,500 Sunday for extra flexibility and freedom. That isn't set in stone, right? Some days during the week you'll eat 1,650, some days 1,700, some days 1,850. Some weekends you'll have a few more calories, some weekends you'll have a few less calories. And you should see that if you watch my weekly weight loss vlog. Right, so over for the week, it's 300. Perfect. And I mean that. It's 300 calories over, right? You're not 300 calories over. You're 3,200 calories under what you've burnt last week. And that means pretty much a whole one of these will have gone, right? Always positive. Always positive. Always try and put a positive spin on everything. Now, I love your food ideas, and they're family friendly too. Absolutely. It's easy. It's literally that Thai green curry, depending on how much you want to cut it down. It doesn't matter whether mum or dad or even son or daughter get in first and they're going to put tea on. It is literally fry off some chicken breast, add a tub of paste, give it another couple of minutes of frying off, add a tin of coconut milk, put it on simmer. Put it on simmer for 10 minutes, put it on simmer for half an hour. Go and do anything. Go and have a shower. Go and pack the kids' school bags. Go do some ironing. Go do what you want. Come back, whack a load of green beans in it, give it another 10 minutes for them to cook off, and it's good to go, right? Like I say, if you're really hungry, you can eat it after 10 minutes. As long as the chicken's cooked through, your sauce might be a little bit more, not watery. Actually, it's really flavorful. When I think of water, I think of no flavor. It'll always be flavorsome. The more you obviously reduce it down, the more flavor it will have. But you know, if you want to eat it after, you know, straight away, fry your chicken off, fry your paste off, add your coconut milk, bring it up to the boil, turn it down and you want to add your green beans in and just leave it to simmer for 10 to 15 minutes, so you're eating it after 15, 20 minutes, go for it. Right, absolutely fine. So yeah, I just try and keep everything really, really basic. League of One from Gran Canaria, eating like a pig, but getting 50,000 steps in and hitting the hotel gym 45 minutes before breakfast every day. Christ, I'm a new man. That's all right, Lee. And you should eat like a pig on holiday. That's what holidays are all about. Can't do in a week what you've achieved in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even 6 months. Excuse me. I've proved that with so many clients. So it was second check-in for a lot of my clients on Friday. And if you haven't quite got there yet, don't panic. It is what it is. But I had so many clients. I ripped my bathroom out. Well, I didn't rip my bathroom out. My mate ripped my bathroom out on Saturday, and I was sort of like his lackey. I was helping. I was loading up the car, chucking loads of, doing tip runs, and this, that, and the other. But I've still managed to get I've got cuts all over my hands and things. Absolutely decided to rip some plaster out, helping out on the ceiling, and just decided to rip some plaster out. It came through, just whacked my arm into 3 nails that were stuck out, which is fine, blood everywhere. But anyway, that's all good. Anyway, bathroom successfully ripped out, all good. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so quick, easy food ideas. Let me go back through TikTok. Finally seeing the numbers. Oh yeah, that was it. Clients, so many clients this week back to pre-Christmas weight, which was just just amazing. And the clients this week, they've only had 3 weeks really back at it because of the way it's fallen. Clients that are checking in this week have pretty much had a full month to get back at it. So hopefully lots more success rates, including my check-in. Am I below pre-Christmas weight? Yeah, smashed it. Neil, you're not meant to get on the scale still checking. I haven't. I just know. I can't explain it. I've been on it. And when I'm on it, I lose weight. It really is that simple. It's not... A lot of people use a phrase, and I do use it every now and then when it comes to weight loss. They use a phrase called trust the process. You do need to trust the process, but the process isn't a guessing game. It isn't a will I, won't I. And I said that to a client this morning. I said, it's not a will I, won't I. It's if you do this, you will lose fat. It really is that simple. So it's not a guessing game. Right? It's not I believe this works. It doesn't work like that. This is where you get so many people on social media that no, this is better. No, that's better. I've done some posts recently, yogurt, meat, cheese. And basically these are all quite calorific, high fat foods, right? But there's obviously lower calorie because the fat's been reduced options. And I've kind of shown, for a portion size, what might be classed as a portion size, cheese, 30 grams. This is the amount of calories it is, and this is the amount of protein you get. And then I've also showed volume, because volume's important. It fills us up. So, yesterday I did a post of meat, minced beef, 20%, 10%, 5%, 3%. Right? And 20%, if you're wanting to eat 100 calories, you should be eating more than that of protein. But if you want to eat 100 calories of protein, you get 37 grams, right? If you switch to 3%, you get 87 grams. Now, obviously, you've got to take into account cost. You've got to take into account, flavor. And there's no right or wrong answer for eating. You can eat whatever you want within a calorie deficit, right? For me personally, I don't want to overconsume saturated fat. And the majority of fat, or, a good, but, the fat in red meat, we would class as saturated fat. Yes, it does have other fats in there as well, because when you look at a nutritional label, it'll say fat, 10 grams, 5 grams of it is saturated fat. So the other 5 grams is either monounsaturated or polyunsaturated. But we would class red meat, dairy as saturated fat. Why? Because although it's got monounsaturated in it, it's not worth the consumption of saturated fat to get your monounsaturated fats. You can get your monounsaturated fats from much healthier sources, from pure monounsaturated fat sources, like olive oil, like nuts, like salmon, like mackerel, like avocado. That's where, oats, chia seeds, that's where you want to get your good fats from. right? So, yeah, all right, your saturated fat, your full fat Greek yogurt will have some, but you've got to look at the balance. You've also got to look at, I'm a weight loss coach. Calories are king. So many people argue that. No, calories are irrelevant. Balance your hormones. Right. I said this to a person yesterday. They didn't respond to me. I wonder why. I got blocked a lot this weekend because people just couldn't. When people fight or flight, dead simple emotional response. When you back someone into a corner and they can't fight their way out of it, they will hit flight. They'll run away. Block me. So literally, some guy said, you don't need to worry about calories. You don't need to worry about fat. You just need to balance your hormones. If you balance your hormones, you'll lose body fat. And I said, right. If you were locked in a room for a month with no food, right, from not eating, so not getting your good fats into your body, your fat soluble vitamins, from not getting proteins, carbs, everything like that, you would have hormone imbalances all over the place. You would be all over the place. Your cortisol levels would be dead high. You'd have massive hormone imbalances. You still lose body fat, right? You don't eat for a month, that will cause massive hormone imbalances in the body. You'll lose a hell of a lot of body fat. And I said that to him. I said, so you're telling me if you didn't eat for a month, right, your hormones will be all over the shop, right? Because food does balance hormones, different nutrients we take into the body, right? Also, things like stress. You'll be very stressed if you're locked in a room for a month, and B, if you don't eat for a month. Again, stress cortisol levels can be really high, right? No response. Next thing, blocked. I can't ask him again. Have you thought about this or anything like that? He's blocked me because it's logical thinking. When you think about it logically, he's like, oh, he's right, And I'm not doing it to be a Mr. Right. What I'm doing it for is someone will comment. It's social media. I can't stop people commenting. I can't delete every stupid comment that comes on. I don't want to. What I want to do is correct them. So then when someone else comes on and reads their comment, goes, oh God, is that the case? Oh no. No, the guy that actually knows what he's talking about is correcting him, I need a metabolism boost. You can't boost your metabolism. Like you can very short term, caffeine will give your heart rate a little bump up, right? Well, I say you can't boost your metabolism. You can, but not, like people think your metabolism check, it doesn't. Your metabolism is the calories you burn on a day-to-day basis. If it massively drops, you'd be dead, right? That's the only reason the metabolism massively drops. Right, it really is that simple, yeah. So you don't boost that. You lost 4 stone, and the last 6 months stayed the same because you're not in a calorie deficit, Linda, anymore. Right, ideally is another stone. Hopefully, get off this summer, still making healthy changes. So you've lost 4 stone, and basically you've hit your brick wall. So the way you've lost your 4 stone in weight, you're just struggling to be consistent doing it for that last stone. Last stone's always the hardest to lose, right? Because you're probably happy with your body now. You're just trying to chase a number on a set of scales. There's lots of different reasons why the last stone is the hardest, but now, don't get me wrong, you've lost 4 stone in weight, Linda. That means your metabolism will have dropped by 200 calories because you carry less mass, right? But if you were in a 500 calorie deficit a day, I don't know how long it took you to lose 4 stone. If you come on and say it took me 6 months, bang, that's it. You've over-restricted yourself and you can't stick to that over-restriction anymore. This is a pound of body fat. 500 calorie a day deficit on average, 3,500 calorie a week, you lose one of these. Right? If you lose 4 stone like Linda has, your metabolism will drop by 200 calories a day because you don't have the mass to move anymore. It's not a bad thing. It's great having a healthier metabolism, right? It is. It's not a healthier metabolism. It's just your body's not under as much stress, so it doesn't need to burn as many calories because you've not got, 56 pounds extra strapped to your body, right? But if you're in a 500 calorie a day deficit and you lose 4 stone, you're still in a 300 calorie a day deficit. Right, because if your metabolism drops to it, you're still in a deficit. So you still consistently lose weight. It might not be quite as fast as you were doing, but you'd still see losses. If it's just stopped, it's because you're not in a deficit anymore. Boosting metabolism, you can't. No, well, this is a very when I say you can't boost metabolism, certain foods you eat on a day-to-day basis will increase your metabolism while you eat them, but only for short blasts of time. Now, a high protein diet, protein has the highest thermic effect of all foods. And a lot of people look at it so basically 20% of the calories you consume from eating protein is lost through digestion because your body has to work harder. Your body working harder is part of metabolism. So a lot of people see that if you have a high protein diet, hence drinking a protein shake now, right? Cookie dough Perform, top tier, by the way. High protein diet, and you constantly have a high protein. So every main meal, this is why I promote one of the reasons why I promote protein. A lot of people see it as it will increase your metabolism by 20%. It doesn't quite work like that, but it will increase your overall calorie burn. How I look at it is thermic effect of food. It actually reduces the amount of calories going into your body after once the stomach broke the food down and put it into your small intestine. Again, we shouldn't look at it like that because a lot of people go, all right, so I eat 2,000 calories of protein. My body only gets 1,600. So that means I've got an extra 400 calories. No, right? It's a little buffer. Right? Use it as a little buffer because you're not going to be that consistent all the time. Yeah. There's only one proven way that you can permanently increase your metabolism, and that is by increasing muscle mass in your body. That is going to the gym, training, lifting weights, week in, week out, consistently, gaining some lean muscle mass on your body. And that will, so if you had two people, they're both 15 stone, right? So I've got two males, both 15 stone, both 6 foot tall, both 30 years of age, right? But one of them has a body fat percentage of 20%, and one of them has a body fat percentage of 35%. So the one that's got a body fat percentage of 20% will, because they're the same weight, will have more muscle mass. The one that has a body fat percentage of 35%, same weight, will have less muscle mass. The one that has more muscle mass, their metabolism will be higher than the one, not stupidly, but their metabolism will be higher than so two males, both 15 stone, both 6 foot, both 30 years of age. The one with more muscle mass and less body fat will have a higher metabolism than more body fat and less muscle mass, because muscle, it requires more energy to maintain it than fat does. Yeah. So that is the only way to permanently increase metabolism. Short-term blasts, stimulants, caffeine, will bump it up. Hardly anything, though. Nothing that will make a significant amount of difference. Anyway, this Friday I will be below my pre-Christmas weight, right? And what I'm doing then is I am going into a muscle building phase. This will increase my metabolism, right? For every pound of muscle, can't remember the numbers. I think for every pound of muscle you gain, you can increase your metabolism by about 40 calories a day, 50 calories a day. So you increase you maybe 40. That will slow down the more muscle you carry, but to start off with, right? So, my metabolism is 2,500 calories a day, and I carry an all right amount of muscle mass. If I didn't go to the gym and train and carry the extra muscle mass that I carry, my metabolism would probably be about 2,100 a day, right? It would be about 400 less, something like that, But I've been training a long time, so my body's adapted to a lot of the muscle I have. Anyway, I'm going into a muscle building phase. What is going to be the difference between Neil now this week and Neil next week in his muscle building phase? Protein, and lots of it, right? If you are new to the gym, new to training, you still need protein to build muscle, but you do not need ridiculous amounts. You do not need the amounts that a lot of PTs will tell you. 1 gram for every pound you weigh. I weigh 200 pounds. Need 200 grams of protein. No, do you toss, right? I can maintain quite easily I'm like 240, 250 pounds, and I can easily maintain the mass that I've got with 150 grams of protein a day on average. That's still quite a lot. But it's not, most people are like, no, he needs 240, 250 grams a day. Now, my body's very used to training in the gym. I've done it for years and years and years. So if I want to build muscle, I probably do need to be up to my weight, certainly over 200 grams of protein a day. So I'm introducing protein shakes. This week, I'm introducing them, but I'm going to track them just to get used to back into the habit of taking. I used to have protein shakes all the time. Don't really anymore. I have most of my protein in my yogurt. I'm still going to have that. From next week, Next week. That makes sense. I'm of an age where I have less muscle mass. Without giving my age away, I'm too old for weight. You're not too old for weight training. The oldest client I've ever had that I've one-to-one personal trained is 88. He's called Eric. Right? 88 years of age. Right? You're never too old for weight training. Absolute garbage. Nonsense. I don't care if 60s, 70s, 80s, doesn't matter. You're never too old. Right? And when I say weight training, I'm not talking about going into a gym and flipping deadlifting like Eddie Hall. Right? I'm talking just putting your body under some resistance. 1 kilo dumbbells, 2 kilo dumbbells, calisthenics, just doing bench squats, just using your own body weight for a bit of extra resistance. You're never, ever too old for weight training. Never. Absolutely not. You might be too old for running. You might, because your joints are thing. Anyone can weight train. And like I say, the youngest person I've ever PT'd is 14. The oldest, 88 years of age. After having a stroke, right? After having a stroke. I've not heard from Eric for ages. I hope he's still around, and I hope he's still with us. But I started with Eric at 85 years of age. I PT'd him for 2 to 3 years on and off. He had a stroke. He actually recovered really well from it. He didn't have any loss. He had a little bit of loss of feeling in one side of his body, but he still had full function. He could still move. His speech was absolutely fine. And he wanted to build the strength back up in his body. Right, and he had 2 1 hour PT sessions a week with me for a couple of years, from like 85 to 80. I think it was 88, and then COVID hit, and I've not really seen him since, unfortunately. So yeah, you can definitely go weight training, absolutely, 100%. Even if you just sat at home on a dining chair with 2 1 kilo dumbbells, do some little dumbbell punches, do some little shoulder presses, little lateral raises, doing some seated squats, just sat in your dining room chair, hands here, stand up, sit down, depending on your mobility and things like that. You can definitely put your body under. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can put your body under some resistance. Absolutely 100%. Right? I'm not talking about going to the gym and chucking iron about left, right, and centre. Yeah. Anyway, so next week, nothing. I'm eating the same. My eating patterns are not going to same. I'm not changing my calories in my diary. Right? Because I'm only doing this for a short period of time, and I just want to keep into the habits of tracking to 2,600 calories a day of food, right? Because that's what I do now. That's how I very rarely have protein shakes. I normally put my weight in my yogurt, and I might have 1 or 2 yogurt bowls a day, right? But from next week, I'm going to track to 2,600 a day, a bit less during the week, a bit more at the weekend, as normal. But I'm adding 2 of these in a day for 300 calories. This was only a 35-gram shake, 122 calories, 27 grams of protein. And I'm just trying to get into the habit this week. And I am going to track any shakes I have this week. I'm going to track them in. Next week, 2,600, 300. So technically, we'll have 3,200 calories a day. Still going to be in a deficit. It's just going to be a bit of a smaller one. And we're going to try and put a bit of mass on the old body, yeah? What's the best way to pick a goal weight? I'm 6 foot and currently 72.5 kilograms, but not particularly happy with how I look, stomach. I've not really done much strength training. Would I be better off doing that? 100%, right? If you're not happy with it, if you're at a current weight, like you're 6 foot, Jess, 72.5 times 2.2, you're 160 pounds at 6 foot, mate. You will be as lean as anything. What are you there? Like, mate, if you're 6 foot and like not even 11 and a half stone, so you're lean, you've got no body fat to lose. You need to gain weight. But the weight you need to gain is muscle, right? You need to change your body composition. So if you're not happy with your stomach, a lot of people are happy with the stomach, right? Because you've got to have some fat in your body. You've got to. You can't just be lean permanently, right? But what we can do is, like, a lot of people have had quite a big weight issue. You'll still have poor posture. Go to the gym, back exercises, will strengthen your back. It'll pull your shoulders back. It'll improve your posture, and suddenly the stomach that's a bit dumpy will stretch itself out a little bit, right? You can do core exercises that will strengthen your core. You can do chest exercises. Now, you've got to have balance, but yeah, change your body composition. Weight loss will never make you happy with what you see in the mirror. It honestly won't. I was, what was I? 30 when I started off at 37 stone. It got to like 2016, right? And I was down like probably, I'd say down about 14 stone. And it was just before I had my skin operation on my chest. And I looked in the mirror and I hated the way I looked. Now, don't get me wrong. Part of that is I wasn't used to it. I'd only looked that way for such a short period of time because, yes, I've been on a weight loss journey for 2 years, but my body was constantly changing. Whereas 37 stone, Neil, had been pretty constant for 10 yees. So I knew what I looked like in the mirror, saw the same thing every day, day in, day out, and you kind of get used to it. This was new, but I just looked like a melted candle. I absolutely hated, and it was and I didn't expect it. I'm going to be absolutely 100% truthful with you. I naturally thought I'd just feel and look much better in myself. And I generally didn't feel it. Don't get me wrong, there's parts of body dysmorphia there. There's parts of confidence all involved in there. It's tough. I'm not saying it's not, but I didn't like the way I looked in the mirror. The only thing that's changed that is I've still got loads of loose skin knocking about, right? Like I say, people ask me about, like, how do I get rid of loose skin on my arms? Like, I'm flipping 12 years into my journey, go to the gym all the time. I do this, I do that. That ain't going anywhere. I'm not getting rid of that, right? The only thing that can get rid of that is an operation. But because I've been going to the gym and I train and I try and build a bit of this stuff, and these here, which are triceps, bicep, tricep, this has filled out this a little bit. It'll never fill it out, as in like my muscles will get to the stage where it'll just tighten it all up. Some people it might do if they go on flipping peds or something like that. That ain't going to be me, right? But going to the gym it's counterbalanced what I see in the mirror. So I still see that, but then I see that. And I'm not saying they're massive by any means, but you see that, and it counterbalances it in your head. So get to the gym, get training, So I gain weight, Jez, but the weight you want to gain is muscle, right? And your muscle will fill out a little bit of your loose skin, and your frame will look better. You'll feel better about yourself. And because you're exercising, that's ace for mental health. And it is a bit of a vanity thing. I'm not going to sit here and say, I was saying this, the main reason you should be wanting to lose weight is for your health. That is number one. Is your health. But it would be absolutely naive or stupid to go, no, it doesn't matter about it. Of course, there's some aesthetics in there, how you look. And don't get me wrong, when I'd lost my weight and I was fully clothed, I felt better about myself. But when I saw myself in the mirror, it brought me back down to earth, right? And there's, I follow quite a few people actually on social, about 3 or 4 men, not women. And this is not a sex thing. I just haven't found any women to follow that's in this situation. But I follow 3 or 4 men on social media that have lost a tremendous amount of weight, that go to the gym and train, and they've actually built a really good physique, but have not had any skin removal. So they take their top off, and you can see all their muscle, but you can also see all their loose skin, very similar to the loose skin I used to have before I had some of my skin operations done. And it's kind of like, I kind of think to myself now, if I was in that and they're a lot leaner than me. I've never got to a state of being very, very lean. They're really, really lean. So all their muscle is very, very present on their, is visually easy to see on their body. But I'm kind of like, I think I'd have had to have gone down that route if I hadn't had my skin removal operations, if that makes sense. I don't actually know why they've never had the skin. It might be they're all American, so I don't know if it's an insurance thing, it's cost, they can't afford it. I don't know if some of them just use it for content a lot of the time. Amy's 16 on the scales this week from 27. Absolutely amazing, Amy. Well done. That is awesome weight loss. Really is. You're so right about the binge and restrict cycle. Not enough people talk about it. And the binge and restrict cycle it's not just, you can do it daily. So how would we do the binge and restrict cycle daily? You starve yourself. How many of you guys starve yourself all day, but you think you're doing dead well? So you might have 122 calorie shake for breakfast, and a couple of Rivitas and a bit of cream cheese for dinner and maybe a little bit of fruit. And you get to tea time and you have your grilled salmon and your roasted Mediterranean veggies. And you're like, I've had a great day today. I've only eaten 600 calories, right? And next thing, you're flipping spuds deep in a big bag of kettle chips and 2 Mars bars. And suddenly your day's finished at over 2,000 calories, right? And it's literally like, restrict and binge. You've starved yourself all day thinking you're doing good, and it's just caused calorie chasing at night time. You're tired, your emotions are running a little bit in your head. It's always a lot harder to control things when you're later on in the day because you're knackered. Binge and restrict on a day-to-day basis. How many of you do that? Binge and restrict on a weekly basis. 1,000 calories a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and suddenly the weekend hits, the routine's out the window. Next thing, you're not tracking a single calorie and you're eating like an absolute hippo for 2 days. Hippos eat a lot of food. I don't know, the big animals. I'm not calling out on a hippo, by the way. Christ, I open up a can of worms. You eat a lot of watermelon, right? But you're eating, why I'm saying a hippo, I'm thinking hungry hippos. You know, you like that all weekend. I've done it. I've been there. That's why I talk so openly about it. Right, before anyone goes, oh, well, what do you say like that for? I've been a hippo. I used to be 37 stone, and I used to be like this all weekend, and on a Monday, and on a Tuesday. Yeah, I was the best hungry hippo in land, right? It's not a thing to be thinking of. Where am I going? I have no idea. But that's the binge and restrict cycle over a week. What about a binge and restrict cycle over a longer period of time? Right, well, I'll do a shake diet for a month. So you do a shake diet for a month and you lose 20 pounds and you're telling all your mates, I lost 20 pounds. Right, this, that, and the other. And then bang, brick wall, boom. Next thing, flipping heck. Again, you're absolutely head first. 10 Porn Star martinis, nights out, this, that, and the other. Cheesy chips, mayonnaise on the way home. Wake up hungover. McDonald's, KFC, Chinese. Monday comes around. Oh, I'll blow my diet now because you got the scales. I've gained 8 pounds. Blah, 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 blah. And next thing, boom, all that 20 pounds straight back on within a couple of weeks. And then a month later, you get going back at cupboard. I'm positive I've got some Juice Plus here somewhere. Yeah, they'll do. Right, we'll start on them again for a month. That's a bit of a long. So there's so many different like things in the binge and restrict diet, you know. All done on gym work. Was just a little extra arm workout. Nice one, Peter. I've just sent someone an invitation. Please ignore it. If you don't ignore it, I'm coming off anyway, very, very shortly. Breaking this morning, 2 Tesco breakfast this morning. 2 Tesco pancakes, yogurt, raspberries, banana, and honey. Very, very nice. I'm doing one of my 1,600 calorie days today. So I've had 122 calorie protein shake for breakfast. Straight after this, I've got to take the dogs to the groomers. Then I'm going to the gym to train. Then I'm going up to Food Warehouse to do a little bit of a shop and get some content bits and pieces and stuff for this week's worth of calories. Not been in since Christmas, so I know there's loads of like my protein stuff in this. So I'm going to go and have a mooch around up there. And then, yeah, back home. I have no idea what I'm eating today. What? You've not planned? I haven't planned whatsoever. I've actually planned Tuesday, Wednesday because I've made it. I made a spag bol yesterday and I've turned it into lasagna. That's in the fridge. We're having that tomorrow night. And I've had a lot of minced beef this week. So I've also made a cottage pie and that is in the fridge for Wednesday night. So Tuesday, Wednesday's food this week sorted. I think tonight I'm going to go roast chicken dinner. Really fancy it. Lots of veggies, Yorkie pud. So I think I'm going to go roast chicken dinner, but with mash. Keeping it simple. I'm going to go mash, not roast potatoes. I think. I might do my little chip potatoes, actually. So chicken dinner. And then lunch today, I'm going to do my deconstructed Chinese chicken curry. So I do know what I'm having. I'm lying there when I say so. But obviously, we're trying to keep it 1,600 calories. So I've had a 122 calorie breakfast. I've got a 500 calorie lunch, a 700 calorie tea. And then we'll have probably 300 calories worth of snacks. Last week. No new worth of calories last week. Yeah, it was out yesterday. Oh, I think so. Unless I've not put it public. Have I not launched it? If I haven't, that's my bad. It is my bad. It's had 5 views though. How's it had 5 views when it's not going? Oh, what an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Yeah, I put it on yesterday dinner time. How's it had 5 views? Is that just me watching it? My bad. Yeah, there is a brand new word to calories. It's out now. Bloody hell. I'll pop it on my Instagram and everything today. You know, we're having cabbage lasagna. Linda, I'm all right if you chopped up shredded a load of cabbage and you put it in your mince. Please do not tell me you're using cabbage leaves instead of lasagna sheets. Please don't. That's what's going into my head. That'll make me a very sad person if that is what you're doing. That's worse than cauliflower rice. Get out so many people. If you want to reduce blitzing up cauliflower so it's that big is not rice. It's just blitzed up cauliflower, right? And it's watery and it's rank. Cauliflower cooks in seconds, right? Now you might be like, I love cauliflower, but if you think cauliflower is a good swap for actual rice, right? Yes, it's no calories, and yes, it's that other, right? Linda, please don't do shit like that. Right? That's just a bowl of sadness, right? Eat pasta in your lasagna, right? You're making Italian people cry. People went to the grave to invent lasagna and create pasta sheets and this, that, and the other. Give them the respect it deserves. Don't use cabbage leaves. Right? Like I say, if you want to shred up cabbage and put it in your sauce to bulk it out a little bit, I had celery. I use a sofrito, celery, onion, and carrot in mine. Loads of veggies. But yeah, please stop doing that nonsense because that's like a Slimming World. That's like a Slimming World thing that's just shit, right? Use lasagna, love it. Honestly, use 5%. Reduce. You can reduce the calories and other things. You know, that's why you're not losing weight because you're flipping sad with what you're eating. It's just miserable. Stop it. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. But yeah, that is just an absolute bowl of sadness right there. Anyway, what's going on? Hi Neil, hope you're well. I'm very well, Alexandra. How are you? Ex-client popping up. I remember all the names. Hope you're doing really, really well. Love your comparison post. Thank you. There will be more this week. What am I going to do? Milk, I think. I might do milk. This will get the people. So I'm going to get full fat, skimmed, full fat, semi-skimmed, skimmed. And if they still do it, they used to do it in Iceland. We're going today. A protein milk. Oh my God. No, not protein. Bloody hell, don't put protein in anything. Right. Yeah. All right. We're gonna do some comparisons with that. That'll get the people talking. Oat milk. I could get. Can you get Bob? Yeah, Bob. The protein. There's a couple actually different protein names. But anyway, you know. Anyway, yeah. Cauliflower rice is just like. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I make mashed potato and I'll do like 50% potato, 50% cauliflower. Mash all that up on top of a cottage pie. It's just a way of hiding. I used to do it for my niece and nephew. It's just a way of hiding veggies in with stuff. It's great, right? But actual eating cauliflower in little watery bits like that, thinking that's rice to go with a curry or to go with, blitz up your cauliflower, mix it in with your curry, and then have some rice with it. Right? Rice is amazing. You know, it's cauliflower rice stinks. It probably it will do. It will do. You know, we shouldn't be eating bowls of sadness. We just shouldn't. Yeah. You know. Anyway, guys, I've got to go. I was a little bit, smidge late on this morning. But I've got to get the dogs to the dog groomers. I'm back this evening. I'm maybe 7:30, 8-ish. Maybe 7:30, 8-ish. It's flipping me. I love doing my lives and I do these triple streams. But when it's dark and a bit dank and a bit horrible and I'm sat in my back garden, like I like getting in a bit earlier this time of year. Middle of summer and I can have my doors open in my office and the birds are singing and it's still light and it's nice and warm. I'll sit in here till 10 o'clock. I'm not bothered. Anyway, my live will be 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. I'll definitely be on at 8, but if I get on at 7:30, I'll be done for 8:30. If I get on at 7:45, I'll be done for 9:15. Does that kind of make sense? I'll be on for an hour when I come on. So just keep a lookout. Obviously, if you're on Planner in the Community, guys, I'll broadcast it out when I'm going live. Right, I've got to go. New weight loss week, new set of calories in the bank, steps to zero. Nobody overcompensating from last week. Likewise, if you had a belting week last week, don't take your foot off the gas. I did great last week. I'll have a right chill. No. Right, whatever you did last week, if it was a belting week, repeat it this week. Whatever you did last week, if it wasn't quite what you want, just work on it and let's improve it and let's have a slightly better week this week. That's all you need to do. All right? Keep it simple. I'm out of it. It's been a pleasure as always. You've got 10 days left. If you want to sign up to my one-to-one plan and get 4 months of coaching for the price of 3 and half price sign up, it's an amazing deal. New year, new me at checkout. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Linktree. I'm going to put it on my Instagram stories this week. I've not promoted it that much really because a lot of people have been signing up. It's going to end a week on Wednesday. I was going to finish it at the end of the month, but I understand it's payday. It's like paydays this week. Some people might get paid early on next week. So I'll give you an extra couple of days. But next Wednesday's my cutoff. If you sign up on or before Wednesday, you'll definitely start on the following Monday. After that, there's a chance you'll be a bit further down the line. So I'll run it till next Wednesday, and that'll be the cutoff for starting on the 9th of Feb. Then the deal's gone. Right? Deal is out. Right? After that, it's $29.99, $29.99 a month, no extra effort. So if you sat there now thinking, I want to get on board, I need an extra push. It's doing great just after Christmas, but things have slowed up a little bit, or I just can't get, like Linda, I can't get that last stone off. It's really doing me head in. I'll sort it out for you. Well, I'll tell you where you're going wrong. It's then down to you to put it right. All right? I'm not a miracle worker. You've got to put the effort in. But I'll tell you, I'll show you the way. And if I show you the way and you follow the path, you'll get the results. It really is that simple. Anyway, TikTok, I sign up to you first. I will see you later on this evening, like 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish. And Facebook, YouTube, exactly the same, people. I will see you later on this evening, 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish. 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish. Yeah. Say. Don't need to say anymore. Have a great day.